I'm so excited I can't even get this intro started. Well, hey, howdy. My name is You've Been Wiped Out, otherwise known as Cody, and I have finally pulled back the hammer and pulled the trigger on a brand new Western Pacific full-scale steam locomotive. And made by not just any of those manufacturers. We're talking Weaver models here, guys. Weaver. I finally got a brass, first ever brass, and full-scale locomotive in general. Brass. So the excitement is just oozing out of me right now, and I'm just so excited to show you guys. So please, without wasting any of you guys' time, let's get right on it, shall we? Let's go. And there she is, guys. Check that out. I've got a little bit of a floodlight on the backside so we can get some good up close and detail of all of the goodies this locomotive provides. So let's get into it, shall we? The word I would describe this model is art. Because art symbolizes the complete package and that can be admired and appreciated. The attention to detail of this model is completely bad shit insane. The amount of piping and railing on this model will blow your socks off, and yet is incredibly discreet as well. I was so incredibly scared of taking this out of the packaging that a few individuals had the dubious honor of hearing me scream like a little girl. Not my proudest moment, but a moment that will surely last in opening my first real scale steam locomotive. With that being said, let's take a power dive into the history of Western Pacific 43 and how she came into existence. With any good story, must have a beginning. So, our story begins in 1943, and the Southern Pacific Railroad, bum bum bum, I know, Southern Pacific, but I thought we were talking about West, I know, I'm getting there. So Southern Pacific was looking to add 14 more powerful 484 Northern locomotives to their already impressive fleet of Northerns, when the War Production Board kind of got angry with Southern Pacific in not approving of this order. These locomotives had, quote-unquote, fancy streamlining for purpose-built passenger duty, and that the War Production Board said this was unacceptable due to shortages of materials at the time. After Southern Pacific made alterations to the design of this locomotive, the War Production Board finally approved of this construction. Now, the main protagonist appears for the first time in the story. Western Pacific, being a much smaller railroad, unfortunately, now had a problem. They had no advancements into superpowered locomotives, and the War Production Board kind of noticed this as well. So, the War Production Board redirected the last 6 of the GS6s to the Western Pacific. At this time, Western Pacific had asked for modern diesels like the Electromotive Company's FT to help alleviate heavy freight traffic due to obviously being a war going on, a world war. The Western Pacific classified these new 6 locomotives as GS-64-77. And number 43 began her service on July 20th, 1943, which then began a very short service history of about 10 years. These 6 locomotives were numbered 481 to 486, with 484's tendered being preserved at the Western Pacific Railroad Museum. Unfortunately, all others were scrapped or sold to the Southern Pacific for parts. Well, now with the history lesson out of the way, quite saddening indeed, let's now get into the detail of this amazing brass model. So, first off, at the front, we have a number board, legible number board, number 43. We have a warm LED light that's a constant voltage light as well. Have a brass horn here, very stands out from the front of the locomotive. Have a brass stack here with 2 individual brass whistles that make up the front. And now continuing on, we have an authentic running gear. I believe these are 2 mechanical lubricators. Please, if I'm wrong, please be nice to me. Teardrop identification lights. Pipework all the way from here, all the way down to here into the firebox area. Also, in addition, we have 3 brass dynamo generators for power. In addition, we have 2 individual steps to get up to the top of the locomotive as well, which I thought was a very, very nice touch as well. Now, on the right-hand side of the locomotive now, we see a sand dome here and the steam dome here alongside 3 beautifully painted brass pop-off steam valves there. And just another thing, I really want to just bring it to your attention. This model's from 1993. I just love the individual piping going all the way across the locomotive to about to here. And including this right here. I don't know what this is, so if anybody could tell me what this is, I'd appreciate it. But going back all the way there, it looks like an actuator here and then going all to the cab. So I'm thinking this is the throttle, but I could be wrong. So please, somebody, I would love to know so I can be accurate. So thank you. And now we're at the tender. And again, all of the rivet detail, as you can clearly see, the logo, the West Pacific logo is absolutely fantastic on this side. And it looks like you have some etch detail down here for compartments in the tender. It still looks very nice, and all the trucks look very nice. Buckeye steel as well. So that's very, very nice. Now, at the back of the tender here, I do not know if the West Pacific had any, like, their number board back here, like painted, but I don't know. However, we have all this amazing ladder and grab iron detail on the sides here. We have running lights here, which do turn on when the locomotive is on, but we have a reverse directional light that only comes on when it's obviously going in reverse. So that looks very nice. And in addition, you see all of these grab irons on the top of the locomotive and the 4, I'm guessing water. And that's it, guys. Isn't that so sweet? From 1993, this thing looks still amazing. This still gives Lionel and some MTH GSs a run for their money and quality. But again, I want to take this opportunity to thank the gentleman on eBay who I bought this locomotive from. His name is Trainitis. I'll make sure I give him a shout out in the description. However, this man has been absolutely instrumental in me getting this locomotive even presentable for all of you guys. Once I received the locomotive, I had a problem. It wasn't going to want to start. And so I was like, man, what the heck's going on? I've got a Z1000. This thing should be easy. I have plenty of power. And it just wasn't, it was putting off sound, but just not moving. So I contact him, or him or her, and I say, hey, I'm having an issue running this. I mean, the thing is in great shape. I love it, but it's just not running. And we were troubleshooting, and he took time out of his or her day to help me with this, and it was very nice. And I just want to make sure that I gave Trainitis on eBay a quick shout out, because without their help, I don't think I would have got this locomotive running, to be fair. Because I just can't find anything on forum posts or anything. So it's just kind of like, well, I kind of have to talk to the person that sold me it. So definitely worth the look at his eBay store. Got a lot of nice O-scale stuff. So special shout out to Trainitis on eBay for helping me get this train up and running for everybody to see. Thank you. Well, now let's get her run up. So now we transferred out into the backyard now, or back to the temporary layout. So we will see on how she gets on. Oh my gosh, those sounds. Those are so cool. Definitely Proto Sound 1. Definitely Proto Sound 1. Well, there you guys have it. I hope you guys really enjoyed. Now, I need to stress that this locomotive requires 072 curves, and I have nothing bigger than 031 at this moment, which it's in the storage unit right now. But at home right now, I have nothing more than 027. So straight Linus right now. I apologize for that. However, I hope you guys kind of got the gist of what it was. Thank you so very much for stopping by, hanging out, and please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like, to, please join the Discord so that we could have more train people talk and just more trains in general. So I can't wait for the next one, and I hope you guys can't wait either. So y'all take care, and I will see y'all on the next go around. Take care.